All right, welcome back, everybody. We're gonna do a quick continuation here, part two of our character creation in War Within. So when we left off, we were running around Tearsfall Glades and Brill, killing curse hounds and scarlet zealots, and we've leveled up to level 10. Now, if you remember last time, we said level 10 is when you kind of get access to a lot more of the game, such as talents, mounts, um, and dungeons. So we're going to kind of go on here and kind of see where you want to take your story. There's a couple different options here. Once you get access at level 10 to your mounts, I suggest using them. You get around a lot faster. And if you're a returning player and you've got flying mounts, go ahead and use your flying mount because they're so much handier. So when we get to it here, what we're going to do is head to Orgrimmar. So when you get off from Brill, you can kind of see Brill in the background here. There's some old Zeppelin towers which now just have portals that you can just kind of transport yourself to different places. So this one we're going to do is for Orgrimmar. You can kind of see Undercity in the background here too. Once we get to Orgrimmar, we're going to go find some quests and see which kind of path we want to take. Now, if you remember, when you hit 10, you had a bunch of stuff pop up. It's going to be your talent specializations down here, and probably a quest from Abyssian to come talk to him in Orgrimmar, which opens up the Dragon Isle quests. So we'll get going with this. We'll see you in a quick second here. Boom. So when you first arrive in Orgrimmar from the portal, it takes you to the portal room. Now this is pretty much portals to everywhere you can go throughout expansions. So we're going to go up and kind of get a big overview here of Orgrimmar. If you are a returning player, say you stopped playing in, BC, or you stopped halfway through Wrath of the Lich King, and you say, well, I want to keep playing that content. Like, you may have old quests still. You could probably just jump right back in and do that. Say you're sick of that. I'm going to try, Mists of Pandaria, because I never tried that one. So what we're going to show you quick is how to pick a different timeline to go do quests in if you don't want to do Dragon Isle, which is, the last expansion, which is pretty much the precursor that you have to do to get into current Dornagal and that content. That content is 70 plus, so you have to get up to level 70 to do that. So 1 to 70 is going to be pretty much picking a timeline you want. Or, I didn't mention this, if you don't want to go do a different timeline and you want to just level with the character you just had right now back in Tearsfall Glades, you can keep doing those quests and they'll progress you through the different areas naturally, just like you would back in Classic. You don't have to pick an expansion. It's just kind of an added feature that Blizzard gives you now. So once you get into Orgrimmar, there's a whole lot. It's Wintervale, so you got a nice Christmas tree and lots of people hanging out. Once you get in, you're going to notice a bunch of quests on your mini map. We'll zoom in a little bit so you can see Grandfather Winter. He's hanging out right there. They'll have quests all over the place, but the main ones you want to look for are these boards. So these are going to give you different areas to go to. If you don't want to do this, you can click on this guy, and this will give you Battle for Azeroth right away. Or we're going to go up this way. Kind of follow me here. We're going to go up this this ramp, and we're going to go find Chromie. Now, Chromie is going to give you the option to start whatever timeline you want, okay? So that can mean whatever expansion you want. So we're going to go, whoop, past her. We'll go right here, and she's sitting on her little hourglass right next to this campfire. So if you talk to her, you can say, select a timeline. It's going to give you a quest to do it. It's going to give you 2 silver. Yay. And you can kind of pick whichever one you want. So Outland is going to be your BC, Wrath of the Lich King, blah, blah, blah. All of these. There's a lot of expansions over the years. So if you don't want to do current content and you want to catch up, go for it. If you want to stay with the current content and say I'll get to Draenor or Legion later, that's fine. So I would say pick one. There you go. It's gonna give you a couple of quests. We'll let Abyssian stop talking. So once you get the quest, you're gonna want to go find him. So hit your map, and he's gonna be right up here. Dragon Isle awaits. Okay. So we'll head up there eventually. When we want to go there, we're gonna take. Oh, you can see this guy right here. This is our little elevator that we're gonna take up. You can see it's coming down now. But we won't do that just yet. Before you leave and go anywhere, I would think you want to look at your professions and see what you want to do if you haven't picked them already. Now, in Brill, there was a profession trainer, so you can pick your gathering, you can pick your manufacturing types. If you haven't already, I would suggest doing it now, just so you can kind of get a handle on what you want to do. Once you get to Dragon Isles, there's all the same skinning, mining, all that stuff. So get that kind of sorted out, because it's going to be super handy. I would suggest, just for me, since Dragon Isles is not current anymore, really, it's not the current expansion, I like doing just gathering professions just for money makers. You know, I mean, the auction house nowadays is very inflated, and everything costs kind of a buttload. But then again, throughout the years, they've upped the, like trash gold. So if you just, look through your bags here, and like all this stuff is kind of trash, nowadays, a lot of this stuff, this is worth 8 copper. Well, newer expansions, that's going to be worth like 4 gold. So you're going to make gold quickly. So it's not a huge deal that, you craft a lot of stuff. There are definitely some things you can only get by crafting. So if that's something you want to do and you want to make sure you have whatever gear, go ahead and do it. Or if you want to do crafting just because it's kind of fun, go ahead and do it. The crafting systems nowadays they're different from the old ones. I prefer the old ones a little bit better, but that's just my personal preference. I would still say pick one and do it because it is fun. So once we get up to Abyssian here, we're going to talk to him, and we're going to kind of get a lowdown on Dragon Isles. So we'll give this a quick go, and we're going to do a little intro from Abyssian here.
The Dragon Isles hold great wonders and many perils.
Those who answer the call will face whatever challenges may come.
The strength of the Horde has always been its people. I am heartened to hear it. But know that the Dragon Queen will not abide conflict on her shores. The Horde honors its truce with the Alliance. To that end, the Reliquary will work together with the Explorers League on an expedition of discovery.
I expect we will learn much from one another.
Do not forget, Abyssian, that the Dragon Isles are home to the Drakthir as well. We intend to rediscover our past and lay claim to our future.
Then let our peoples make this journey together, Cindrathresh.
Agreed. Along the way, we can hone your combat skills, despite your obvious lack of wings.
I see there is much work ahead of us. Come then, the Dragon Isles await.
Well, okay, there we go. So, we'll get kind of going here. One quick thing as well. When you pick your timeline, you can do whatever you want. There's no wrong choice. So if you want to go back and do older content, go do it. It's super fun. Anyway, that being said, so we'll complete this quest here, and we'll grab these 2 other ones, and it's going to be basically intro quests into getting over to the Dragon Isles.
Keep an eye out for anything interesting. I shall meet you at the Zeppelin once you've gathered our future expeditionary members.
There we go. So we're going to gather different members here. So if you open your map, it's going to kind of show you where they are. They're outside. And over here, orders delivered and artisans recruited. So if you have a flying mount, good time to hop on it, because this is nice. Now, I've got dragon flying, and if you don't have any of that, you'll get it soon. So don't worry about it. There we go. Now, there you go. There's our little circles again. So we can kind of find where these people are. And like I said, they're highlighted a little bit so you can kind of tell the different people be from the others. Where's our little guy? Whoop. There we go. And last one would be right around here. There he is. Boss Magor. Okay, so now that's all done. And we'll just pop up here. I'm gonna talk to her real quick. Oops, I missed one. Let's go down. Scholars recruit. We missed the scholars. Son of a gun. Where are the scholars at? There she is. Cartographer Coralie. Okay, so now let's go back up. And the ship is here, so that's really good timing. So now we'll just wait on the ship and head to Dragon Isles. In the meantime, what we'll kind of go through is, if you haven't done any of this stuff yet, you've noticed that you've got a whole bunch of new abilities here for your character. They've been popping up, jumping onto your screen. If you hit P, you can open up your character page or your abilities page and stuff, and it's the same thing as, well, not K, but this one down here. There we go. N, the talents and spell books. So if you go to your specialization, you're going to notice you got 3 options now. Whatever class you picked, if it's tank, damage, healer, damage, tank, damage, healer, damage, whatever. Now is when you can pick what you want to do. And, you know, obviously with a game like this, there's going to be a lot of guides out there with saying, oh, well, this is the best DPS strategy or heal strategy or tank strategy for certain content. If you want to play assassination or outlaw or subtlety as a rogue, pick what you want, which sounds better to you. You know, assassination is you do a lot of damage and poison. That's for you. You know, subtlety is a lot of burst damage from stalking. You can stealth around and just stun people, knock them down, you know, spell lock them, anything. Outlaw is just strict, like, combat. You're just smacking people around left and right. So do whichever one you want. It'll give you some abilities right here after we get through our map screen here. It'll give you some different abilities to kind of go through and say, okay, this sounds kind of like what I want to do. And if that's what you want to do it. So there's no wrong choice. And you can always, and I would suggest it, pick a different specialization and get good at them. You know, there's no reason why, as a character, you haven't played all the specializations at some point. So I'm going to pick assassination, and it's going to activate, and then it's going to give you your talent trees. So talent tab here. So this is a broad overview. Left side is going to be all rogue abilities, just general rogue. All rogues are going to have this. Right side is going to be your specialization tab. So right off the bat, it's going to give you Shiv, Blind, Cloak of Shadows, and then Evasion. So I would say look up a build for this if you want to, for a leveling build, because they are going to be quite different than like a delve or raid boss or mythic boss, mythic dungeon, anything like that. And actually, this is kind of nice. You just saw this. Can't decide what build to choose? Try a starter build. And you can go starter build, and it'll give you kind of a preset. Okay. Now, I'm just going to pick blind. It changes. Now, you'll get a point every level, and it's going to alternate levels. So when you level up, one's going to be, level 11 is going to be assassination, then 12, 13, 14, 15, and so on. So, looks like we're here. This is the Dragon Isles, folks. Congratulations. You're on your way. So this is going to be the same as any other area. You're going to hop in, start doing quests here, and level through this campaign. Another way, if you, especially as a tank or a healer, and DPS too, but tank or healer is going to happen a lot faster. You're going to level a lot faster. You could level as a healer or a tank without even doing content if you really wanted to, just through dungeons. So dungeons are going to be the next thing. If you hit I on your keyboard, it's going to bring up your dungeon finder. Okay, this is actually a good way to get gear too, because a lot of these all this gear is going to level with you. So if you're level 25 and you're in a dungeon, the gear is going to be level 25. If you are level 50 dungeon, using level 50. So you'll always have an opportunity to get gear. Don't feel like, oh, I got this sword 15 levels ago, I need to get a new one. You'll always have an opportunity to get something. Right now, I think there's bonuses for time walking dungeons. So by all means, go ahead and do that. Get some extra gear. And let's just queue for one, see how long it takes. Okay, we hit Q, our little eye pops up down here, and that's how we know we're in the dungeon finder. And it says average wait time 11 minutes. Okay, so if you, like I said, if you were a healer or a tank, that might be more like 3 to 5 minutes. A lot of this is based off availability of the different roles, tank, healer, DPS. So, if at the time your tanks aren't playing or there's just not enough healers playing, it'll take 11 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So there are some benefits to rolling different classes too, but like I said, you can play whatever you want. A lot of these times too, rewards, first victory, you'll get like a satchel of helpful goods. Usually it contains a piece of gear, most times a neck or a ring. Time warp badges, those can be used at time warp vendors for different things. And bronze celebration tokens right now is the anniversary quests going on, so you can get bronze celebration tokens. Also for gear, toys, little pets, stuff like that. So once you get into a group, that's kind of a different beast in its own. Nowadays, a lot of groups are really fast, so they'll speed run through things. And as a new player, you might not understand what's happening. As a base, I would just say, don't pull anything. Let the tank do all the pulling. The healers should be keeping you up with damage. And as a rule of thumb for raiding 101 or dungeons 101, don't stand in stuff. Like, don't stand in fire. Don't stand in sludge pools. As far as like your first dungeon run goes, it might be a little bit stressful, but you'll get through it. Other than that, now you're here, you can run around, start doing some quests, and get your battle going here. Get your quest going. We'll get back to you guys with another video later on. Until then, happy hunting, and like and subscribe if you like the videos. I do this because it's fun and I enjoy the game a lot, so I hope you guys too. Have fun.